his colleague, I don't know where he's gone, I'm here today to talk to you if you want to get involved with law or that sort of profession. So the judging panel will be chaired today by Tom Whitaker, former president of the Society. So Tom, give a wave. That's Tom, very nice. Joining him as wings will be Dr. Matthew Zito, who you already know, doesn't like being referred to as a doctor. We also have Andrew Green, the current president of the Society, Tom Russell, somewhat of a dinosaur but an incredible judge, and myself, workshops and convener of this tournament. Sorry? Yeah, well, whatever. I choose myself as a judge, what's the big deal, man? Right, so, in terms of the finalists, in first place, Ioana Shiva-Broke. In second place, we had Marine Faruqi. In third place, we had Adam Arshad. In fourth place, Raluca Stănescu, or rather, Alex, but Alex, unfortunately, today isn't able to speak due to personal reasons. So in fifth place, and today speaking fourth, will be Raluca Stănescu, Madhavi Gupta, then Thomas Redgrave, Jonathan Newey, and standing in is Akshay, who is eligible to win this competition due to his position in the in-rounds rather. I just want to make a quick note of kind of self-congratulation, but also kind of a general pleasing thing, in that in the tournament, 28 of 60 participants were female, and in the final, 4 of 8, so 50% of the participants are female, so that's like a great thing generally in life. Don't take that way. So before we carry on, Matt Zito is going to say a few words about the man who this competition is named for, Bryn.
When I was asked to do this speech a few days ago, I really don't know if I should do it. And indeed, I haven't written anything down. I haven't prepared anything for it as such. So do excuse me if I stutter or things aren't as smooth as they should be. Bryn was my debating partner for a long period of my debating career, definitely my most successful period. Some of the older generation might refer to me as his deadweight partner. He's definitely a much better speaker than I ever was. But the story started in his first year. When he went to in his first ever competition representing University of Birmingham, Bryn came up third on tab, except you have to read the tab the other way around. Just third from bottom. 2 years down the line, Bryn Gough was very much well recognized by the whole debating circuit as one of the, if not the best undergraduate debater of that generation. Now that in itself is an amazing story. Like that in itself is sufficient to say that this society would name a cup after him. But the story is just a little bit more interesting than that. Because while there is the usual cliche of saying like, it is through hard work, it is through enthusiasm, it is through like the effort that he put in, it's a lot to say about what actually drive him to work hard in developing his own debating career. Bryn convinced me, and I think a few other members of this audience, that debating is not just a fun game, it actually has got intrinsic value in itself. It's a real honor to be able to take part in debating, to be able to take part in environments where people around you think like a debater and engage with each other like a debater. What it means is a case of you engage your faculty, such as like your logical reasoning. You engage your faculty to question yourself. It's not a few activities where like in order to be good, you necessarily need to question your own preconceived idea. You necessarily need to challenge yourself again and again. There's not many other activities in life where you have to do that in order to be good at it, or to be recognized to be good at it. And that itself is really fun. It makes you much more interesting as a human being. It makes you much better as a human being when you realize that you have to challenge your own preconception again and again. And as someone who doesn't have like a religious faith, who doesn't have like a holy book to go by, if you believe that, if either you believe that there is a sort of good morality out there, there is a good life of some sort that you aspire to, then as someone like Bryn or like myself, engaging those human faculties of logic, engaging those faculties of a perpetual self-challenge is the closest that you ever get to what an ideal life would be, to what like intellectual, to what like being clever, being smart would actually entail. It's that constant challenging of your consistent belief. It's through this form of ideas that Bryn built upon his own enthusiasm in debating. It's through this recognition that he works hard at this game. They became really, really fucking good at this game. And dragged me through like multiple tournaments. And not only as a good debater himself, Bryn is someone who truly inspired a generation. For those of us who have the honor to have known him, his enthusiasm, his charisma rub off on everyone around him, both in a formal setting where he's standing in front of a lecture theatre, telling us about debating, and a much more informal setting of just sitting around in a bar. His enthusiasm rubbed off. He convinced many of us that debating is in itself a universal good. It is this attitude to debating that many generations of subsequent Birmingham debater have their success built on. Like people who are older than him, like myself, is largely influenced by him. I may not have kept on debating had I not had Bryn Gough as my debating partner. The society probably had one of its largest success at the recent European Championship. I dare say that's just not possible without a foundation and without this inspiration that was laid down by Bryn, who's looking behind me. And therefore, it's probably hugely appropriate that his name shall be associated with the freshest conditions within society, that his name shall be celebrated in every generation and in every new batch of debaters that comes through this society. And may his attitude and may his enjoyment of debating rub off on each one of us. Enjoy the evening.
Thanks, Matt, for those incredibly moving words. What we're going to do now is move reasonably swiftly onwards so we can get started with the final. So what's going to happen now is, out of this hat, which Tommy has very kindly provided, damp as it is, we will pick out the names and the teams. So, without further ado, speaking in first or opening government, we will have Akshay. Most people regard that as the hardest position, you know. And also with Akshay will be Bryn. Speaking opposite them, in opening opposition, we will have Med. Is someone waiting to come in?
Yes.
Yeah. Come on in. No. Hello, come in. Don't worry about it, guys. Speaking with Med, in opening opposition will be Joanna. Speaking in closing government will be Adam. And speaking with Adam will be Tom. And speaking opposite them in closing opposition will be Jonathan, and whoever the last person is, Raluca. Okay, so to be clear, in opening government we have Akshay and Bryn. Opposite them in opening opposition we have Med and Joanna. In closing government we have Adam and Tom. And in closing opposition we have Jonathan and Raluca. So, the format will be as usual. We will announce the motion. As of when I press the timer on my phone, you will have 15 minutes to prepare. You are not allowed to access any form of technology, but you are allowed to look at printed works, be them books, dictionaries, whatever you have. Okay? If you have an A to Z thesaurus, fantastic. There will be 5-minute speeches as they were in the in-round. Sorry if that feels too short for you, that's tough. There will be a winning team, and there will also be a winning speaker. The winning speaker will get this lovely cup, provided very generously by Bryn Gough's family. Okay, there will be certificates given out at a later date. Unfortunately, various colour printers throughout the university are broken and I wasn't able to get them done in time. So, without further ado, I would like to ask you to read the info slide. Feel free to take a photo of that if you're speaking. So to read that out, certain groups within society have disproportionately low voter turnout compared to the general population. For example, in the UK in 2010, voter turnout was 61.4%. Of this, the upper classes, the A and B classes, kind of goes from A to E, voter turnout in 2005 was 70%, whereas in the working classes, D and E, voter turnout was 54%. Similarly, ethnic minority voter turnout in 2005 was 40 to 60%. Okay? Depending on the various ethnic group. Have you written it down? Do you want me to give you all notes? Okay.
The different time periods, 2005 and 2010.
Oh, right, that meant to say 2005, but that's
Okay,
2010.
yeah,
In 2005 it was 64.2%. So, sorry about that.
That's the 6 maths, sorry.
Yeah, my mistake. Those are all 2005 to be totally clear.
Thank you. So we get that.
Okay, is everyone happy?
Yeah.
All the speakers good?
Yes.
Fantastic. So, the motion before the House today reads, this House would give more weight to votes cast by citizens that come from groups with low voter turnout. I repeat, this House would give more weight to votes cast by citizens that come from groups with low voter turnout. Okay, starting in, where's my clock? 15 minutes as of. Okay?